AirVenture is back with a bang. Come along for the fun, the crowds, the meetups, and all the craziness in between. We're back. After a year away and a forced break from the biggest aviation gathering in the world, it's once again time for AirVenture in Oshkosh, Wisconsin. It's difficult to tag exactly what this show is all about. The best way I can explain it in short is that it's a theme park for aviators and those that love aviation. It's like a family reunion with pilots from all over the world sharing in this love for flying things. As with every year, it was unique in its own way. We've got a lot to show you in this summary video of the events through the week, the event through our eyes, but we also have a few full-length spin-offs to come in the following episodes, so make sure to subscribe and stay tuned to those. The event always begins with thousands and thousands of airplanes flying in. Showgoers pitch a tent next to their airplane and become fully immersed in the experience. With such a huge show and so many people wanting to come to the show, the flow of traffic has to be carefully planned and followed, so there are specific guidelines, specific procedures to get into AirVenture. We found ourselves at the Fisk Arrival, just outside AirVenture, where the majority of the thousands of aircraft are coordinated by controllers, and this is where they get their clearance. They fly up these railroad tracks, they get told to rock their wings, and then the controllers will tell them exactly where to go. So it's a very structured process. Everyone has to play by the rules. They don't talk on the radio. They basically just go to where they're supposed to go, follow the directions, don't talk on the radio, and they get cleared to land. This year, we just so happened to be there when my friend Cameron and Tom, flying the entire day all the way from Florida, arrived overhead and got cleared to land, or cleared to switch over the tower. And now we rushed to the airport, found where they had parked, and we celebrated their arrival. Woohoo!
Yeah! They did it. What's going on, boys? Hey, Mark, what's going on? You lost weight since you last. Check you out. Good job, man. Woo! Hey, Dave. Hey, we made it. We made it. Woo! 9 hours total, but yeah, 9 hours.
Now it was time to set up camp. Cameron comes seriously prepared and sets up an awesome location. We call our setup the Taj McCameron because it's so nice. This year, the big addition was a real air conditioner system with a compressor, which kept us really cool at night, among all the other amenities that we had. You may call it glamping, but I call it some sweet living for the week. Settling into the show, I had my first event at Garmin. I'm proud to announce at this time that I'm now a Garmin ambassador, honored to be counted among such wonderful aviators such as the Pades, Flight Chops, Citation Max, Pilot to Pilot, and more. Just really excited to be part of the ambassador family at Garmin. Garmin was key in helping on the 2-3 uniform panel that was recently installed, actually in Oshkosh during the off season. They've been great to work with so far, and just we are aligned on so many things, so really enjoying working with them. There is a ton of that material, and all of that is to come in future videos. So again, make sure that you're subscribed for that. That journey from Alaska all the way down to Wisconsin and back, and getting the panel done is just something else. From Garmin, we got swept away by Steph Strickland, who is kind of a media coordinator. The mission, a VIP interview with the F-16 demo pilot, Major Garrett Toro Schmitz.
Hey everyone, I'm Major Garrett Schmitz, call signs Toro. I'm the commander and the pilot of the F-16 Viper demonstration team. We're just here at Oshkosh. It's my first time here, actually. This is the F-16. This is Venom. She's the only bird painted like that. We got it painted about 1.5 years ago. Our team sat down, we came up with a design. If you look close to the tail, you can see like our patch right here has a snake on it. We just essentially cut the nugget off the snake and had those scales kind of go out into the jet. So if you look at the tail, it's almost like Venom is the snake that's on our patch. That's a like small little detail a lot of people don't pick up. The only one painted like it. When you paint a jet, you get to name it. So we decided that Venom was appropriate. What we do is we go to air shows. We do about 20 to 25 a year, and we do what's called a combat capabilities demonstration. So where the Thunderbirds or Blue Angels will do precision aerobatics, we do more low, fast, very high G. It just shows what the F-16 can do in a combat situation low to the ground. So it's incredibly agile. Let's see, I went through ROTC for commissioning, so I went to the University of Arizona in Tucson, got my degree in aerospace engineering, and then got picked to be a pilot. So that was a pretty exciting day. It's what I've dreamed of doing in my entire life. When I was 8 years old, actually, it's kind of sidebar, I got to see the F-16 demo team perform. It's the only time I ever saw an air show. And I remember, like, we do what's called a max climb. And I remember seeing that and being like, oh, I want to be a fighter pilot. So from that day forward, it was kind of wanting to become an Air Force pilot, but specifically a fighter pilot. So it was getting a pilot slot. That was a really big day in my life. For the Viper, I went to Tucson for my training, and then spent a year in Korea with the Juvats, crush them, and then the Shaw Air Force Base where I'm at right now. I've been at Shaw for about 5 years now, which is longer than normal. I mean, obviously we're a recruiting asset, so that's kind of our #1 job, is to go around to air shows and different events and recruit. So recruit and retain really is what we're looking to do. I mean, it worked on me. I went to 1 air show in my life, and they got me for almost 20 years now. So that's kind of our #1 mission. And then I see our mission as well as kind of performing a public service. So a lot of the public isn't familiar with the military, so we're able to go out and not only show like what your taxpayer dollars are going to, but how absolutely like dominant the U.S. military is, and just the Western militaries in general, so our Western alliances.
We're huge supporters of the military here at Angle of Attack and really appreciate the mission of these demo teams. Thanks to Toro, Steph, and the whole crew for the awesome access, and thank you to the other demo teams for such great air shows this year at AirVenture. You guys did a fantastic job. Next, I did a meetup with a fantastic panel at AOPA consisting of Josh Flowers, Kelly Edwards, Kayla McLeod, and Cortland Savage. We had a really good time talking about social media and aviation, and we had some good laughs as well.
I just wanted to ask Chris to give us a clear.
Oh, that's right. You posted that. I forgot about that. I forgot to yell my clear. All right, who else has a question for us? Up front.
I ain't see that coming. Scared the crap out of me.
Again, meeting up with all the fans of this channel, those that have been inspired by our work, and just those that wanted to say hi. It was really great to meet so many people face to face, and it's good to get to know you a little bit and put a name to a face. Now, the next morning was really special, and this ends up deserving its own video. We ended up working with Bose Aviation to give away a ride with the Aeroshell team. But what I wanted to do was give a ride to a fan, you know, someone out there that wasn't a friend of mine or wasn't part of our crew. And it wasn't me doing it again because I've already done it. And we found a lucky winner that was still on the grounds, and it really couldn't have gone to a better guy. It was actually his daughter that entered for him. We ended up having a really special time there on the side of the runway as he went up with the crew. He's a former Navy pilot, now an airline pilot, has a big family that's really in the aviation, and it really couldn't have gone to a better person. So this was such a special story. Again, we have an entire video dedicated just to this story. It was really one of the highlights of the entire show. After that, we had another awesome panel at AOPA with Jason Miller, Matt Guthmiller, Flight Chops, Steve Thorne, and Mel Williams. We talked aviation safety and what it's like shooting videos and sharing those videos with unique experiences and perspectives from all the different panelists. So it was a great time to share the stage with those gentlemen.
This is a powerful storm, and it really has ramped itself up in the last 10 minutes or so.
Look at this cluster of lightning over Oshkosh.
I want to make sure people are waking up for this. I want them to get into their safe place.
This is a nasty cluster of storms.
I gotta go, Julia. We got cows.
Storms started to move into the area and became such a problem that all of the events that night were canceled, and we went into overdrive preparing Cameron's plane for potential hail damage. These were some serious storms coming in, and so we got into action and started to make preparations for this storm coming through.
Other locations in the path of these severe thunderstorms include Nakawan Scout Camp, Fremont, Red Granite, Lake William, Oshkosh, and Rush Lake. Prepare immediately for large hail and damaging winds. People outside should move immediately to shelter inside a strong building. Stay away from windows. Torrential rainfall is occurring with these storms and may lead to flash flooding.
So we are at Lowe's, hashtag not sponsored, and we are getting materials to cover Cameron's airplane because we're pretty worried about the potential of the thunderstorm coming in, potential for hail. It's actually hailing already that way. Tom is our resident engineer and he's the boss on numbers. The rest of us are fried. All we want to do is sleep, but we have this storm to contend with. So AirVenture is an adventure.
So first, dinner was awesome, you guys, but now we're getting a show, and I can't wait to see how this turns out. I mean, here we thought we were going to go to the SOS beer tent and have a good time and experience the SOS beer tent and the hail and the tornado, but now we're off to cover an airplane, and I don't know how this is going to go.
So we actually ended up bugging out and heading to a friend's house. Once we heard that there was a tornado, we noped out of there. We just had to go somewhere else where it would be safer, and we weren't stuck in our tent next to an airplane with potential flying objects everywhere. A tornado did end up going through about 10 miles to the west of the field, knocked down some huge trees, and there were big problems out there, and I would call that a near miss. So we were fortunate, but dang, that was close. Because the night prior was such a cluster, we ended up just enjoying a day of air shows, and later the night show with its awesome fireworks. They do a great job there at AirVenture. Sometimes at AirVenture, you've just got to chill. And after a crazy day before, it was nice to just hang out and take it all in. That puts us into the next day, which was a big one. So big why? Well, we started the morning with a VIP tour of the Orbis Flying Eye Hospital, which is an MD-10, and we toured the whole thing with access to the flight crew and the staff on board. So we have a full video coming of that, so make sure to subscribe. This monster of an aircraft is literally a flying hospital. They fly it all over the world, not only performing surgeries that save the sight of many, but more important, it's a teaching hospital for doctors in those areas, so they can learn the techniques and perform thousands of surgeries of their own in the future, which is the most important part of this, in that this education tool, this aircraft where they teach these sight-saving surgeries, that message gets spread. It's the whole teach a man the fish sort of analogy, right? And these guys are just awesome for what they do. That deserves its own video. We've made a video of that. It's awesome. Make sure to subscribe and check that out, and we'll have that in the AirVenture playlist. That afternoon, after having our daily Chick-fil-A,
The slippery slope right here.
I had a panel at ForeFlight with some of my colleagues. ForeFlight is a big sponsor of this channel. They are very supportive. They believe in the work that we're doing, and we really appreciate all their support. As a bit of a finale to the show, we hung out at Flight Outfitters for the tail end of the afternoon air show on Friday.
Hey everyone, Chris Palmer here with Josh Flowers, and we're about to head over to Flight Outfitters.
That's right.
For kind of an air show, fun time, come hang out, chill.
That's right. It's kind of like a meetup, but we're calling it a hangout.
There were giveaways. We hung out with Mark, the owner, who was giving away a lot of items. And I got to spend a lot of quality time with followers and just chill. It was just great to sit down there in the chairs that they had and watch the aircraft fly by. It was just a perfect evening with great people and a great way to end the week there at AirVenture. From there, it all kind of winds down. I ended up mostly turning off my camera the next day, focusing on my friends and enjoying the last bits of the show fully and completely engaged. Then we enjoyed the night show later on that night, which is always a big treat. And I literally didn't pick up my camera at all for that. I said, hey, I'm just going to be in the moment with my friends. I'm just going to enjoy having everyone here around me. And, you know, there's just this special feeling of appreciation for being back at AirVenture and having another amazing year. It's something that the soul kind of needs once you go to it year after year, and it's good to reconnect with everyone and reconnect with aviation again. So thanks so much for tuning in again. I hope you all found this inspiring to go to AirVenture someday. And if you're already a regular, keep on going. It's definitely a special event, and I look forward to meeting many of you there again next year and in the future. Make sure to like this video, hit that subscribe button, and turn on notifications as always. You can always share it with others as well, people you know. There's much more to come. We have a lot of cool videos coming up, especially with the travel down to Oshkosh in the first part of the year with the airplane and getting it all upgraded, and that's definitely something you're going to want to see. So until next time, thanks for being here. Throttle on.